Hey guys, welcome. Just give me a quick second. Set a few things up real quick. Give me a quick second, guys. Was running a little late today. Starts only. Alright guys, so good evening. Welcome to Stocks with Jose. I'll be your host, Jose Najarro. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll probably have some more people later on as the show progresses. So how we're gonna start off the day, just how we normally do, is we'll look at the futures for tomorrow, see how things are looking. So today market started off really good, because of the whole trade wars news that the trade wars was put on halt from U.S. and China. So we started off a great day. S&P went up. We'll take a look at SPY in a moment, but I'm pretty sure it went up a few points. One thing I noticed, most stocks I followed did not go as high as others as I expected. So it seemed like it was a pretty weak market today. So if we're looking at futures for tomorrow, Dow is up 21 points. The S&P 500 is down 0.5 points. Nasdaq is down 2 points. So right now it seems pretty flatline. Nothing crazy. There's nothing here that can tell us what tomorrow is heading. So there's no news that I can tell about tomorrow's market. Let's just check CNBC pre-markets real quick to make sure there's no top news. So everything seems pretty straightforward. Seems like tomorrow is going to be a flat day. But let's just take a look at some charts. Just like always, how I start off the show, I normally just talk about the trades I'm doing, why I do them, and why I went in, why I sold, why I bought in. But if anybody has any questions, feel free to post on YouTube or Twitch, whatever type of question you guys have. So normally I do technical analysis, but I also do fundamental. So whichever, if you guys want to take a look at anything, just feel free to post on chat, and we'll take a look at it. So first, let's just start off with taking a look at SPY. If we look at SPY in the yearly chart, before on Friday we had this candle right here. We had a nice red candle falling back into the wedge. Before the news that hit this past weekend, I thought we were gonna go back into a dip. But news hit during the weekend, and we had a nice strong green candle today. So I like this a lot, that we have a nice long wick down on this candle, and the body of the candle is up top. So it seems like we might have a few more green days coming up, unless something happens. If we look at it in the 6-month time frame, so again, I see we have a few viewers already. I'd like to welcome everybody. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to post them. Post them on chat, and we can definitely take a look at any stocks you guys want to take a look at. So I just want to first look at the overall market, and then we can start looking at anything else. So if we can see here, we have a big pivot point right here if we're looking in the 2-hour time frame. Let me get my charts. So on, what is this, 5/14, that was on Monday. Was it last Monday? So it seems on last Monday we tested this high of about 274, the 274 range. We tested that high again today on 5/21. If we look at it closely, so this was last Monday and this is today. We hit this ceiling right here. Again, we hit it, and it seems it's gonna bounce back on the bottom of it. But I also see another trend line here. So this is definitely something to take a look at. If we break out of this 274 point, I think that'll be pretty good for the market tomorrow. If we break out of this this ceiling we have right here of 274 area, we'll be able to have a really strong day. If not, I can foresee us going back into this wedge that's made, and finally keep going until it finally breaks out of it or breaks above it. Um, that's pretty much the market. I don't know. I had a future brother-in-law just sent me a message on wheat stock, so I just want to take a look at it for him. Let me see if this is the right ticker. Make sure picture. I didn't see what ticker it was. Oh, it's buds. So one thing about buds, it's over the counter, so I'm probably not gonna take a look at it just because I don't have a broker that trades over the counter stocks. So I have to message him later on to let him know this is not something I can trade just because my broker doesn't allow it. But if we look at it in the daily time frame, it had this downtrend for some time. So wheat stocks are definitely not something I follow. Oh, what's going on 1,000? How's it going? Let's take a look back. All right, SPY. So how do you know if it will break past the support? So that's the thing, right? You never know when it's gonna break, which direction it's gonna break. The only thing you can do is take a look at those levels. So I can't tell if it's gonna break one point or the other. What I would do is I would take a look at 274 area or the wedge area. If I start seeing it break below it, then to me that's going to be a confirmation that it's breaking it. If I see high volume above it, then we'll see that it breaks. That's why most traders, when there's something this tight, you see how it's pretty tight between the ceiling and the wedge. It's so tight that for many traders it's not worth the risk of buying in this wedge. It's better to see the confirmation. So for me, for example, I wouldn't trade this until we either broke the ceiling or we broke out of the wedge. Just because the risk here and the amount of money I can make from here is too high of a risk for what you're making. So one can't really tell where it's gonna go. Maybe you can look at indicators and help out, but one would never know exactly what direction it's going. You just know you have to manage your risk and see how much opportunity you have and how much you can make with how much you're willing to risk. So for example, for me right here, the amount of money I can make in either direction is very minimum compared to how much I'm willing to risk. So for me, I would rather wait for a confirmation in either a breakout of the ceiling or a breakdown under the wedge. So maybe some other traders might answer that differently, 1,000. But for me, I definitely that's the way I would trade it. Hopefully that helped you out and answer your question for you. So the best thing to do is just always try to minimize that risk of when you're trading. Just because anything can happen, right? So you just have to minimize. You have to see what that risk is, and be able. You got to figure out if you're willing to take that risk, and is that risk worth the amount of money you can make. And for me, right now, it's not really worth it. So that's why if we take let me just take a look at buds real quick. It was my future brother-in-law. I just want to take a look at it real quick. So normally I normally don't trade wheat stocks, just because I really don't follow it. But we can see from, if we're looking at it in the daily chart, we can see it had this downtrend from January to March, yeah, March 4th, and then this reversal happened. Right now it looks like this reversal happened here, and now it's following some form of uptrend. So sometimes even if you don't follow the stock, it's still good to practice your technical analysis on it, to see if you can find anything. This is kind of the small channel it's making. um, and it's just what I can see. But that's about it. So let me show you what I was talking about 1,000. So for example, Tesla. Tesla is a position I entered today. Um, so we can see Tesla right here. It's trading within this channel. So it has this channel that it trades from 275 to 311, right? So this is a really good channel, and this is really worth the risk. So if we start from the bottom all the way to the top, that's about a 12% gain, right? So 12.69% gain. That to me would be a really good trade. So what did I do? So on Friday, I saw this candle right here. So I saw this candle right here. We hit the bottom of the channel. So I don't buy then. I don't buy when it hits the bottom of the channel. I wait to see a reversal. Because what if I buy here and then it just falls back? It just keeps falling. So I'd rather wait for a reversal. So what did I do? I end up waiting for today to see how we would end the day. So we ended up above the channel, a nice green candle. We ended up with the indicators all pointing up. So to me, this is now, even though I didn't buy at the bottom of the channel, I bought around this level. And even if I take it to the top, that's still about a 9.5% gain for me, right? So to me, this is definitely worth it. And for me, I would have my stop loss. I would have my stop loss at the bottom of the channel, which would be around, which is around here, which is not even a 3% loss. Oops, sorry, my mouse moved. So it'll be about a 3% loss. So to me, 3% loss compared to a 9% gain is totally worth it, especially since I saw the reversal. So if it trends back, I definitely agree that I would still think it was a good trade on my part, if even if it drops down, because I saw how much potential gain I have. I saw how much money I'm willing to risk, and I entered at the right time. In my opinion, I saw the reversal. So to me, even if this goes down, it's still a good trade in my opinion, because I followed my rules. I mitigated my risk. I saw how much money I was gonna make, and so even if it's a losing trade, and if I continue this process, I'll end up with more winners than losers, and that's a 3-to-1 risk. My potential is 3 times bigger than my risk, so that to me seems really good. So Tesla for me is definitely a good buy, and that's why I entered today. I entered today with a small position. Tomorrow, if I see another green candle, I'm gonna enter. I'm gonna increase my position and ride that wave up. So if anybody has any questions on that Tesla trade, feel free to ask. And if you guys have any questions on anything else, feel free to post on the chat. So let's look at Tesla. What else did I enter today? Let me just take a look at my trades for today. If I ended up entering, I'm glad you're at 1,000. That's pretty good. I'm happy. I'm happy I can help out. Um, so let's see what else we have. But like, I mean, even though the thing is, you need to know how to follow your rules. I can show you a mistake I made real this past week, and how it was a mistake because I didn't follow my rules. So I'm not gonna just show you guys winners, right? So GS Goldman Sachs. So I ended up buying. I'm missing a moving average here. Hold on, give me 1 second. I don't know why the 200 moving average is gone. Let me just fix it real quick. So Goldman Sachs for me was a mistake, and let me show you why. And I had plenty of times to come out of Goldman Sachs. So this candle right here, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it a lot. This nice hammer candle. When we see a nice downtrend and we see this nice hammer candle, that to me indicates a reversal. Um, But again, just like always, I wait for an extra candle before I go in to definitely confirm that reversal. So I got in somewhere around this price. I ended up averaging up. But let me show you my mistake. So I saw the reversal, which was good. I waited for confirmation before I entered. Once I saw that confirmation, I entered in a small position. I saw another candle agreeing with my position, and I entered even more. So my average is actually where the current price is at, 237. So what ended up happening? I ended up riding the wave up, right? So we had the 200 moving average. I had this candle right here hit the 200 moving average and fall back down. I told myself if it did that again, I would sell off. What ended up happening? The next candle ended up hitting the 200 moving average again and falling back down. I should have sold at this point. So last week I wasn't much into it, but I didn't sell. I should have sold at this point. I again told myself if I wait one more day, let's see if it breaks it. So again, it hit the 200 moving average and it fell back down. And now look at it. So for me, not really paying attention and not listening to my rules, I ended up missing on some potential gain. So right from where it's at, to where it's at, I missed out on 3% just because I didn't follow my rules. So that's, even though it's still a learning phase for me. So you gotta, once you put yourself in some rules, make sure you follow them, and when you follow them, you'll be trading good. So that's definitely a mistake I did last week, and I'm happy I'm making these videos because I'm able to look back at it, and I can see how I told myself on Wednesday, Thursday, on Monday, or whatever day this was, that I should sell, and I still didn't listen to myself. So yeah, Goldman Sachs. Let's see what else I'm in. So I don't think I'm in much. I'm in many positions right now. Tesla's definitely a good position I'm in. Um, so just for learning practices, I was talking this past Friday. I did a quick show and I was looking at some stocks, and I ended up looking at X United Steel, and I saw this candle right here, right? So previously I had this channel right here, right? So X was trading within this channel right here. It's been trading it perfectly. It hit up top, it flew back down. So then we got up to this point, and then we got to the top of the ceiling again, and we had this candle right here. Oops, let me. So if you take a look at this candle, this is what traders call a doji candle, when it has both a long wick up top and it has a long wick in the bottom, and it's very tight in the middle. So usually when you have a doji candle with a long wick, a doji candle, it means the sellers and the buyers don't know what position. They don't know what they want. So right here, the sellers don't know if it's gonna drop, and the buyers don't know if it's gonna go up. So this is usually also a candle that I use to determine downtrend. So what ended up happening, this was Thursday. We had this downtrend. Then I saw this red candle. All right, so this red candle now to me confirms to me that a downtrend is happening. So we see this downtrend. Eventually, if we look at my notes, I don't know if you guys are gonna, I don't know how good the graphics are on this stream, but if we look at 521, I told myself for X, watch how it reacts to the market. If red, I told myself to buy puts. Again, if I would have listened to myself for today, I would have bought puts here, and I would have had a nice short. But sometimes I just don't follow my trades, even though I write them down. So this is something I still have to practice. I still have to I have to go with what I see. So I saw that reversal, and I'm not sure why I didn't enter on that put. So right now it feels to me it's gonna go back, drop to this channel. To me right now, it's not worth the risk. We're already mid channel, so this can change any direction. But if it hits back this channel, I'll most likely go long on XDO and ride the wave up. Um, so yeah, this I just wanted to show you this candle. If for teaching purposes, this candle right here, once it's in an uptrend and it's close to a ceiling, this can symbolize a nice reversal. So that candle, and just how we saw in GS, the hammer candle. If we would have had a doji candle here as well, I would have also thought of it as a reversal and waited for the next candle to show um to show confirmation. Um, so let's see what else we have. And the great thing is when you do swing trading like this type of trading, you can take it anywhere. So people that do crypto can easily use this type of trading on crypto. I'm actually just starting forex trading. Um, so I'm also using it in forex. If you can see here, I'm definitely using just swing trades. I do quick swing trades, so I just take a look at them, at the direction, and that's how I depend on my trade. Um, so this type of the one good thing about technical analysis is all the candles are the same in any type of security you trade. So if you learn swing trading for stocks, you can use them for other types of securities that you want to trade. Let's take a look at my current watch list to see if we can take a look at any stocks. If anybody wants to take a look at anything, also feel free to post it. 1 second. So normally when I don't have any trades to do, I just look at my watch list. So my watch list is composed of stocks that I know have some form of swing trades that I do. Um, it's actually a big list right now. And I just try to take a look at them and see if any of them are potential candidates. So for example, Weight Watchers, um, Weight Watchers, it was trading within this channel. Once it broke out of this channel, it created a new channel. So right now I'm just waiting for confirmation to see if it's within this channel or if it's in the whole new channel. So to me, Weight Watchers doesn't have enough past data for me to determine what kind of channel it's in. SOLXL, so this is the 3-time CF. Give me just one quick second. I just want to see how my forex is doing. They're doing. So let's look at SOXL. So the great thing is once you start doing some form of swing trading, you start eventually remembering the types of patterns um, that you end up seeing. Um, so like over here, right, we have this candle right here, the nice hammer candle where we have the body of the candle up top, but we have a nice long wick down, shows a trend of reversal. And look, after this candle, we have a nice wave up. Um, to me, this candle right here that I have highlighted um, showed some form of reversal. Um, so at the moment, I think I might still be waiting for. I sold some positions in SOXL, um, but indicators are giving me an uptrend, so I might wait out with the amount I have. But I don't like how we have the 9 moving average across this red candle right here. But now it seems the candle it's again above this. So I right now it's to me it does not I can't tell the direction it's going. I definitely cannot see it was going bearish here, but now it's kind of bullish. I don't know if this was just a cat bounce. So I'm gonna give it a few more days to see what type of direction is going. Um, I'm kind of feeling, unfortunately, that it might dip a little, where I might increase my position in here. Second, fiance's texting me. She acts like she doesn't know I'm doing this live stream. Yeah, so XOXL. So Tesla for me is definitely the big position to be in. Intel Core. Intel Core trades within the middle of the channel. It's been in a constant uptrend. It's pretty ridiculous. MU. Look at. I definitely can't see any. So see, and just a good thing to note, 1,000 is the moment it breaks out of the ceiling, it usually breaks out of it hard. So you can see it's been trading within this ceiling for some time, and the moment it broke out of it, it only took a few days, and it went a lot higher than it ever did, right? So in just a matter of days, it went this thing went 16% after it broke out of the thing in a matter of it actually broke out of it here on this candle. So in 1, 2, 3, 4, in 4 days, it did about 16%. So that's why a lot of people usually wait for the breakout to happen before entering. So CY. So drip and gush. So let's see. Um drip is a three times. So drip is a ETF that follows the S&P oil and gas. Um, the only thing is it follows it three times the bullish. Yeah, so they're opposite. So one is the inverse, and one is bearish, and one is bull. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see the screen. Right here you can see it says bull, and then the other one is drip. Um, it's bearish. So usually they're inverse of each other. So the good thing about this is if you see a reversal coming in one of them, you can usually enter the other position and ride the wave up on the other position while the other one is going down. So like I said, these are extremely risky. I mean, right? So in a matter of few days, this also went from here. In a matter of few days, it dropped over 28%, right? So that's pretty crazy. That's why you have to be careful with these, and these I recommend um, if one doesn't trade them as frequent and doesn't know their the way they move. Um, if one, I would enter them and leave them the same day. The only one I ever hold for a long time is SOXL, just because this is one I've been trading since last year. So this is something I know how it moves, and it's something I'm not too worried about. But for example, Gush, and Drip are not ones I would trade and hold for daily trade for more than a few days trade. And just if you ever want to take a look at, I know if you go to three times ETF list, this place right here gives you all the leverage ETFs and what type of. And then I'm pretty sure I showed you this website, right? So um, then if you look at the symbol, so it's pretty great. So my first year, I started off with a small account. Um, so with small accounts, it's easier to increase position. So like I said, my first year I did I did 100%, so I made a few thousands in my first year. Um, and as the years have gone on, I've increased my position size dramatically. But my gains have only gone up by like my gains last year were about 15% on my third year, and on my second year it was like 30%. Um, but I feel like at those moments I was pretty as a trader. I wasn't trading to the best of my abilities, and I do believe this year is where I've learned much, a lot of my skills and fine tuned my trading. Um, so I think this might be one of my best years to come. So yeah, it's nothing ridiculous. I honestly, if I could, I probably would day trade. But just I can't at the moment. I can't leave a very stable job to day trade. Um, yeah, so most of my returns are better. I look at my 401k account, and as long as I'm beating the returns I'm getting out of there, which is very passive investment, and I feel pretty good for myself. And like I said, this year I think might be one of my best years. Um, so definitely something good. The thing is, the market moves in so much direction. So whatever type of trade you follow one year might not work this next year. So one has to be able to learn to adapt to the type of market we're having. Um, so maybe sometimes if the market is volatile, you might just do daily swing trades. While when the market is a nice bullish uptrend, you just want to hold for long swing trades, um, or just long term until you see a reversal. So you have to familiarize yourself with different types of patterns, just so you know how to shift. Right, you don't want to be stuck in one type of pattern only. But to crave my day trading fantasies, I'm actually that's why I started doing forex trading. Forex is it's the very risky business if you don't use stop losses. I'm pretty sure you can wake up with very heavy losses. But for me, stop losses and anything and holding over the weekends is not something I do. So I feel like I mitigate my risk pretty well. But that market is open 24 hours, from Sunday to Friday night. No, from Sunday to Friday, um, 4 o'clock. So it's open 24 hours during that time. Um, and that's what I'm gonna try and test it out. Uh, I ended up opening a small position in forex. I entered with $1,000. My first trade got me 10%. So um, I'm doing good on my first trade, just following swing trades. And now I'm on my second trade for forex this week, and let's see how that goes. Oh man, so the only thing I did not like about today's market was the SPY was pretty green today, but I didn't see many stocks go as green as I thought they would be. So for example, let's look at a percent change. Most of my swing trades, right? Look, most of them are between 0% to like 1%. Not many went over 3%. Most of them went. There was very little above 3%, and those above 3% were, this is a three times ETF. This is a three times ETF. This is three times ETF and three times ETF. MU is just a killer whenever it makes news. Yeah, so for me, I do the same principles. But for me, when I do day trades like that, I look at it in a smaller time frame. So let me just show you the trade I was in. So I just entered in the U.S. dollar with Canada pair. The only thing is, forex is extremely dangerous if you don't use stop losses. and you don't understand the way it moves, just because you take over a big position. So with for example, I opened up a position of this with $1,000, but I pretty much with my leverage is it's about a $50,000 leverage position. Um, all right, if we look at it in the 15-minute time frame, um, so I ended up entering the trade. Is this what I mean? Let me double check. USD, go to Forex, USD CAD. So before I went to the gym, I saw that this was dropping down, right? So this has been pretty bearish, right? It's been dropping down. But if we look at it in the 4-hour time frame, um, it has this form of wedge right here. So I drew this wedge, um, wrong one. I guess it was the 2-hour time frame. So if we look in the 2-hour time frame, we can see this drop here, right? So it drops here and it drops back down. So if I put this here, I can see I see this I see this support, this imaginary support that I don't know why this support is made. This does not. This is one thing I don't understand why these supports are made and like this. But we see this type of uptrend support followed with some form of ceiling. That's not really in a upward matter. It's more like a horizontal ceiling. Um, so at around 8:30, let's look at it now. So I found this support. So now that I found the support, I started looking in a shorter time frame. Um, so I saw this red candle, it hit my line, and I'm like, okay, this might show some form of reversal. We had a nice long wick. I got the next candle. The next candle was a nice green candle. I'm like, all right, this helps confirm my my reversal. But let me just because if we look at it, we have a red candle, a green candle, followed by some more uptrend, and then it drops down. So I'm like, okay, let me wait up a few more candles. I ended up entering in this candle just because we ended up crossing about above the 9 moving average, and it was pretty nice candle above my previous candle. So now I'm entered in this candle long, and I'm just waiting. I'm just gonna hopefully ride this wave up to this price range right here. Um, and for me, my stop loss is right here at this point. Um, so the way Forex works is pretty difficult to explain how the price movement works. But even though it's I entered around here, even though it's a very small price range, from here to here is a $50 loss. I'm willing to risk $50. Um, but if I go up to here, I'm definitely gonna make a lot of money. Um, like I said, um, I ended up finding a support in the longer time frame, the 2-hour time frame. I found this support right here. Once I found this support right here, I checked a smaller time frame to see if it confirms my reversal, and once it does, it would go up. So just like anything else, there's a lot of major events. These are like earnings, but not really. But there's major, because this is trading types of currencies. So there's major world currencies events that can make this go down and up. So it depends. If I It depends on the type of trade I'm trying to do. If I'm trying to do a swing trade for at least a week, I'd look at the daily time frame. Um, so if I'm trying to, it depends on the type of how long you want to hold the stock. So if I'm looking at the daily time frame, it means I want to hold this for at least a week, maybe some more. Um, so this would I would see that in the if I want to hold this for a long time, this is not a it would this is definitely not a good point a good price to buy. just because I see the support here. Um, if I'm doing more of a daily trend, I look at the 2 hours to see if I see any heavy support. Um, this would be a strong support in the 2 hour time frame, and then I would take a look at the 15 minutes. Um, so that's how I would normally trade. So it just depends on how long you wanna hold your trade. Um, and for day trading, for actual day trading, the 15-minute is my favorite time frame to look at, just because um it shows you a lot. It shows you um I can read a lot from the 15-minute time frame. It's not as fast as the daily one. I know most professional day traders, they use the 1 minute time frame, and they're pretty good with it. But look, if we look at the 1 minute time frame, I see form this kind of trend line happening right here. Um, so this is the thing. The more you practice, the easier it gets. So sometimes it breaks above it, but you can see it falls back under it. So right now, this has a nice uptrend type channel going on, which is I'm happy to see. Um, excuse me. So yeah, this is the same with even just looking at stocks, right? So like I said, I was looking at Tesla. Tesla is something I want to hold for at least a week, maybe more. So I ended up looking at the daily time frame. I saw this nice trade here. Um, no, I mean 1,000. This is pretty great. You're like my only viewer right now, and I'm having so much fun. It's a lot better when I'm interacting with someone. So ask away. Um have no worries. Like I'm this is why I've made this show, right? It's to help out others. Um, like I said, I've done so much testing. I've read so many books that it'll probably be a waste if I keep it to myself. And if I could save someone a few hours from not reading books or not making my mistakes, it's definitely worthwhile. Um, and at the same time, it just refreshes my memory with everything. So like I said, you can ask away. Um, it's a lot better when I have a viewer opposed to me just talking to myself. But yeah, let's see if we were a day trader, how we would look at this in the 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time. So if I was a day trader, right, this is what I would do, right? So this is the 21st. This is pre-market hours right here. So pre-market hours, we have um we have a high of this here. So it seems throughout the whole pre-market, 9 o'clock, 9:30, we did not pass this high. Um, if we look at here, we're also having some form of um, a nice uptrend going on. What else as we get closer, to the to the to the end of day. I mean to the beginning of market hour. Uh, so if I was a day trader, what I would do, I would put my pivot point at above the market high pre-market, which is this level. And if we have a nice bullish indication, the moment we break out of this would be my buy price. Right? We go over it, buy price. I mean, if you would have gone here, that's what, from 283 to 291. That's about $10. As a day trader, there's people that probably buy hundreds of Tesla, and that's an easy $1,000 in a matter of 15, 30, 45, 50, 45, 1 hour, an hour and 30 minutes. They made $1,000. Um, So it's just patterns you have to take a look at. You become more familiar the more you look at it. So one thing I do recommend is if you don't have Trading View, you can definitely, I'm pretty sure it has a free version. You can just go take a look at it and see what time frame works for you and see if you can spot a pattern. Um, and even I wouldn't recommend trading on it first. Just probably write it down in a journal and see, hey, I would buy at this candle because blah blah blah. So right, this candle. If we're looking in the 4 hour time frame, we have this really sick candle right here. Look at this candle. It's a nice reversal candle. And what ends up happening? Once we see this candle at the support, it tells me, okay, the support is really good. We have, I wish this candle would have been green and above it. If this was a little bit higher, it would confirm that reversal, and then you could have ride that wave up. But yeah, you just gotta see and look around and see what candles react to what kind of movement. So I like to look at the daily time frame, 2 hours. From time to time I look at the 4 hour as well. And if I'm day trading, I look at the 15-minute time frame. So I think it's pretty crazy. I don't really have much to trade for tomorrow. I'm still, for some reason, have a gut feeling that the SPY, the overall market, doesn't know what direction it's heading. So for me personally, I might be sitting down for a few days until I see a true direction, opposed to Tesla, which looks like an amazing trade for me. So Tesla might be the only one I'm entering right now. I actually no, I ended up opening a few puts position today. I ended up buying a put on that CAT. But that's not doing too well. But let's see. It's actually not doing too bad. It's only down 5%, and a stock option is not that expensive. Let's see why I ended up buying a put on this, just so we can see my reasoning. So if we look at CAT, right, we have we've been trading within this channel right here. It tested the ceiling right here. It's tested the ceiling here. It tested the ceiling here. It tested the ceiling here. And we had, I saw it this morning. It had a similar candle. Look at this candle. So this candle looks so good for a reversal. So that's how we built that ceiling, right? So that's first step. First step is see if we see any form of ceiling and floor. So we saw a ceiling that's been tested multiple times, so that confirms it's a strong ceiling. What's the next thing? Make sure if it has some floor. So it has this floor, it tested it here, tested it here, tested it here, and tested it here. Sometimes it breaks under it. That's okay if in 2 days it actually ends up going back into the channel. So if we see it broke it for a day, but on the second day it was already back into the channel. Same thing here. It broke it for a day, but on the second day it was again back into the channel. So that means, to me, that confirms this is a nice support. So I ended up seeing this candle right here. How do you know it wasn't a head fake when it broke the first? So no, head fakes, like I even watched many videos between other traders, and head fakes and are just part of the deal. Not many men end up doing it, but I personally don't know if there's a true way to determine if it's a head fake. That's why the best way to do it is just wait for a second candle to make sure the confirmation is the reversal is confirmed. Um, the one thing here, I didn't wait for a confirmation. So here I jumped the gun. So the main reason I jumped the gun here was because I saw we were at the ceiling and I saw this nice reverse hammer candle. So if we look at GS, right, we had a a candle with the body on the top. So to me that indicates a reversal going up. Over here in cat, we see the opposite of that. We see a candle with a long wick up and the body going at the bottom. So to me, that is indicating a strong resistance down. But to me, this could be a trick. It could be like, hey, we're just tricking you. Tomorrow we're gonna go up. So for me, the mistake I made here was I should have waited for the second candle to confirm my reversal has taken place. So right now I took a big risk by entering on this candle. But normally this candle right here has a high percentage chance of working out. So that's why I decided to jump the gun. Um, all right. So for best practice, you would definitely want to wait and see that the next candle shows some type of bearish, bearish signs to confirm that reversal. So at the moment, cat looks pretty good for my position. Hopefully tomorrow we have a candle to confirm it. If not, I'll just close out um my put option position. So if you want so if you want 1,000, maybe let's try to find a position where there was a head fake, and see if we can spot anything, right? So let's see. Maybe you might find a position. So right here, it broke out of the ceiling. The next candle, to me, how would I have seen this? Right here, I probably would not have. I definitely would have not have known how to trade this. Um, so let's look at here. So right here, we broke out of it, and we broke out of it pretty good. So when we broke out of pretty good, um, let's say we waited for that breakout position. So to me, this candle right here, this is actually a really good candle. Um, I would be happy to see that candle. Um, so this candle to me doesn't show any signs of reversal, but I could be wrong. This could be a reversal candle. Let me take. Let's see. Let's Google hammer reversal candles. The Morning Star, the Doji, the Bullish, the Abandoned Baby. Let's see if we can find a good reason. Because to me, the only candle I would say would show anything, um, is a hammer candle. But to me, hammer candles, a candle like this is usually for a reversal of an uptrend. So I want to see if it's actually used as a hang another candle. So over here, it looks like it's when it's at the top, it's called the hanging man. So let's look at the hanging man. The hanging man first, it has an uptrend. Two, it has a gap up. So there was a gap up. Okay. Three, a lower shadow at least twice as big as the real body. Four, real body bullish or bearish, better if bearish. Five, confirmation candle. Okay, so look, we're both learning something here. So I think what we saw there was a hanging man. So let's see if we can um if we match all these. So first we need to have an uptrend. All right, so correct. We have an uptrend. All right, so that comes. Um, can you see the picture fine, or should I make it bigger? Let's see if I can make it bigger. Open the tab. All right, hopefully you can see it. All right, so we have the hanging man. So the first thing is an uptrend. All right, so yep, we have an uptrend confirmed. Um, so second thing about the hanging man is that it's a gap up from the previous candle. So we definitely have a gap up. So a gap up means that we had this gap between here, right? So it closed at 16.2.4, but it ended up opening at 163. So we had a gap up of about 60 cents. All right, so the hanging man, we had a gap up. All right, so that's good. 3, we had a wick at least twice as big as the real body. So that wick seems pretty long to me if we look at it. The wick seems pretty pretty long compared to the body. So that's good. So for the real body, it could either be bullish or bearish. So that's pretty interesting to know if it could either be bullish or bearish. So right here we actually have the body kind of bullish, and then the fifth thing is a confirmation candle, and we had the fifth thing is a confirmation candle. So I just actually learned a new type of of candlestick pattern, the hanging man. That's pretty interesting. So we see it perfectly here. It worked out. It's exactly this picture right here. It's to the T. This picture right here, and it worked like nothing right there. That is so funny. What the heck? Oh man. I mean, we actually even see it again here, right? So we had um we had a gap up here, we had a long thing, and then we had a confirmation. You sold off here. I mean, right? You might have saved a few points, but then it rides back up. But it's definitely a good candle. That's definitely one I won't forget. So I wonder if this is considered a hanging man, or if this is something else. No, because the hanging man, I guess, has the top. Um, so what would this one be? Let's see if we can see what that candle would. This is actually a pretty cool website. Online trading concept. Like all, I might just print these out and just start looking at them. It's very easy explaining. Explanation. All right, so to me, this is what my candle that I currently traded on looks like. Looks like the shooting star. So one, we had an uptrend. All right, so we have an uptrend going up. Let's close this. Two, we have an upper shadow at least twice as big as the real body. All right, so my upper shadow, which is, I don't know why they call it upper shadow, right? So I call it the wick. So my wick is definitely twice as big as the real body. We have the wick there. Um, and real body is either bullish or bearish. Better if bearish. Um, so to me, this seems like a shooting star to me. Uh, this is actually a great website. I'm actually gonna post it on the chat just in case you can't see it. Um, post it here. I don't know if it should have sent by text. Just in case you wanna save it. So I actually might print this out tomorrow and just make a quick small book, um, and just start remembering some of these. Oh. Yeah. Mwahaha. So let's see if the we'll see tomorrow if the what is this, the shooting star, right? If the shooting star ends up working. That's pretty crazy. And yeah, look, this is something I probably mentioned plenty of times. Windows. Um, so when you have a gap up, the bottom of the gap always acts as a support. I can definitely picture Oclaro has had that thing. So look, it had where was it? Damn it, maybe it wasn't Oclaro, but it had this gap up around here, and it kind of tested it around here. Maybe not as strong, so maybe not as a big, but you can definitely see it tested this support, it tested it here, it tested again, it went back into it. So I definitely, oh, I know which one, Pandora, I think. So honestly, I'm not. Let's see what a wedge is. Trading wedge for me, a wedge is when I'm making like a triangle. Um, so let's see. Stock wedge. So when I mean wedge, I mean it as a different position. So to me, yeah, this is what I mean a wedge. So a wedge is like when I'm making some form of triangle, right? Um, so we have this bullish wedge. To see, it's more like some form of funnel. But there is a gap in the wedge. Volume starts to go down. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yes. So usually, that's what we would call a bullish flag. So usually, you would have for a bullish flag is you would have you would have something gap up with a very big with a big candle. Um, but yeah, let's take a look at Oclaro. So let's take a look at Oclaro. So to me, in Oclaro, um, to be honest, this is one I wouldn't know how to trade once it gapped up. Um, it's like this just seems pretty crazy. This is because this stock at this moment I followed this sector pretty often, and there was a buyout confirmation here, and then there was some news between the price here, so it cut back down. So this is something you actually can't really predict, right? So I this is something I probably wouldn't know how to trade. But let's see if we see anything here. I feel like I'm just forcing something here, so yeah. I mean, we did have a big volume on this candle right here where we created the gap. One of the biggest volumes I've seen stock has ever seen. Yeah, so I'm that'll be a lesson for us for next time. We're doing we're figuring candlesticks today, right? Um, but a flag is definitely um, so this this one is definitely very good to know. Um, let's see if we can see it. So it's called the bullish flag. This is one of my favorite positions to trade. So it's usually um, you have a very big candle or multiple candles. Sometimes it could be multiple candles. Create a flagpole. So this would be my flagpole, right? Eventually, you would put a nice floor depending on where it goes. So they put this floor right here, where it was tested here, and then it was tested here, and then you just have a wedge going down. Um, the moment it breaks out of that wedge is usually a good sign, and it would go up. And then same thing here. It's creates a flow. You find some form of resistance. The moment it either breaks out, it ends up going high, or it can end up going the other direction. But bullish flags is definitely one of my favorite types of patterns to trade. Let's see if I can find one. So right here we have one. So EA Games, right? So um we have we have this support right here, and then we have this resistance right here. Um, the moment it broke out of it, pretty really great earnings. Um, so this is definitely a pattern, one of my favorite patterns to trade. You can see it again in Square, I'm pretty sure. Um, I had this red line right here, this red trend line. We had this support. The moment it broke out of it, look at that, very green, very green. Visa, I think, is also one. Um, Visa was the opposite, right? So we had a ceiling. Um, we had a ceiling, but we had this wedge going up. The moment it broke out of it, very green. So some form of triangle flags are very good, very good patterns to follow. All right, 1,000. So I think 1,000 I might be done for the day. So for my trades for tomorrow, it's definitely just gonna be Tesla. Tesla is what I'm gonna follow, and I'm gonna stick with my put on with my bearish on cat, just because of the what do we call this again? Oh man, where's the website? The shooting star. Yeah, the shooting star. Um, I think now if I see a reversal, I might buy more puts and write this wave down. Yeah, so shooting star and hanging man are the two we learned today. So when it's bearish, it's definitely the shooting star or the hanging man. The hanging man can both be bearish. So it seems any form of hammer candle like this, inverse hammer candle, can definitely be a sign of reversal. Yeah, today was definitely pretty fun, man. Like I said, welcome to come. You can ask a million questions. Uh, I end up learning. So today, um, for you asking about that head fake, we ended up learning about this type of trading pattern. So feel free to ask any questions. Definitely, you're welcome anytime. 1,000. Have a good night and good luck with any trades you have tomorrow. That's definitely the end for my